say that again, I'm sorry.
How many donuts can fit inside some of the boxes?
Connor wants to know, okay, well, how many donuts can fit in some of these boxes? We know that we've got different size boxes for donuts. Archer, what do you want to know? What kind of donuts do they sell? Definitely want to know that. Mason, what do you want to know?
What kind of flavors they got?
What kind of flavors they got? Definitely want to know that. Smile, what do you want to know?
How big are the boxes?
How big are the boxes? Right? Is it small this big? Is it small this big? That could be two different things we're working with. Arik, what do you want to know?
What are the biggest boxes and the smallest boxes?
What is the biggest box? What is the biggest box? Maverick, what do you want to know?
How many donuts are there?
How many donuts are we saying, like, in a box?
No, are there?
Do they, like, make in total?
Yeah.
Okay. Rogan, what do you want to know?
How big are the donuts?
How big are donuts, right? Are they little donuts? Are they gigantic donuts? Callie, what do you want to know?
I don't know what's right.
Dublin Donut Shop.
Okay.
And I'm going to turn the page, but that word will still be there.
Okay.
Alright, let me give you some more information. Dublin Donut Shop has different sizes of boxes for their donuts. The smallest box of donuts has 4 donuts in a straight row. I want you to draw a box. Don't make it gigantic. Draw a box. Sure. And you're going to put 4 circles. Why do you think we're going to put 4 circles inside that box? Avery, why are we putting 4 circles inside that box?
Because there are 4 donuts in the box.
What size or what shape are what shape are donuts normally?
Circle.
Okay. So I'm going to draw my box. And notice that it said 4 donuts in a straight row. Make sure your donuts are in a straight row. This is kind of a weird box setup they've got. A small box holds them like that. It does not hold them 2 and 2. So if you drew 2 and 2, fix it. That's not their setup. That's the way I might do it too, but that's not how our Dublin Donut Shop is doing it. This is their small. Out to the side, let's write small. That's their small box. Their big box have rows of donuts with 4 on each row. So I'm going to draw a bigger box.
That's a weird setup they got.
And it tells me that they have 4 in each row. So I'm going to do 1 row, just like I did my small. But because I've got a bigger box, can I fit more rows? Yeah. I think I might even be able to fit another row in this box. If you can only fit 2, that's fine.
I can fit 4.
Go for it. This sentence does not tell us how many rows. It just says that the larger box has rows of 4. We're going to label that large. What are you wondering now? What are you wondering about now? Lydia, what are you wondering now?
How many rows are in the big box?
I want to know how many rows typically are in a big box. Maybe they have lots of different large options. Marley, what are you wondering now? What's a medium? Do they even have a medium? Right now we're only talking about a small box and a large box. Connor, what do you want to know?
I want to know what kind of flavors.
Still want to know those flavors. Mason, what do you want to know?
How many rows?
Love it. Did you hear that, genius? He said, I want to know how many groups of 4. We're using 2 words to talk about groups. I'm hearing the words group that Mason just said, and we're also using the word row. Somewhere on your page, let's write that so when we hear those words, we know we're talking about the same thing. So Mason used the word groups, Mason's using it is a synonym. Synonym is two different words with the same meaning for rows. So if Art says, hey, there's 3 rows, and Mason says, hey, there's 3 groups, they're talking about the same thing. They just use slightly different words to describe it. Brogan, do you have a question, or are you wondering something?
I'm wondering what the activity is.
Okay, Callie?
I'm wondering how much, like, sugar they put in donuts.
Sure. Okay. Avery, what you're wondering?
I'm wondering, is this actually a story? Did you actually get us donuts?
No.
Oh.
All right.
It was worth it.
So now we're going to look at what my 2 small boxes of donuts look like. Before we do this, we're actually not going to draw it in our notebook. Go ahead and put your notebook away. On your desk, I want you individually to make 1 small box of donuts with those counters. When you are done, give me that secret thumb. That tells me that you made 1 small box of donuts with your counters. Here's the next task. What would 2 small boxes of donuts look like? Make it. When you're done, give me a secret thumb. What would 2 small boxes of donuts look like?
Stop it.
I saw a lot of counters like this, and then other counters out to the side. Is that 2 boxes of small donuts? Small boxes of donuts, I should say. Would it be wrong if we organized them like this? Because I saw a couple of you organize your dots like this. Is that wrong? No, that's kind of like if we stack them on top of each other. Cole, that's a really good way to lose all math kid privileges. All right, next task. Move your counters to the side. What would 12 donuts look like in a big box? What are your donuts that you're using in front of you? We're using counters. So how many counters do I need?
12.
I need 12. Get out your 12 donuts and then start thinking, what are they going to look like in a big box? Think about our big box for a second, because some of you have some weird things happening on your desk. Let's go back to our big box. Hands off your counters, eyes on the board. Hands off your counters, eyes on the board. Look at our big box. Our big box was arranged in rows of 4. Look at your box. Is it arranged in rows of 4? If not, you're going to have to fix it, because 1 long row of 12 donuts is not going to fit. We got to make it fit in that box. If you think you have figured out how to make 12 donuts fit in a big box, give me a secret thumb. All right, I'm going to ask a tricky question. How many rows? Think about what I'm asking. How many rows did you need? Remember, Mason and Art gave us those words, groups and rows. We're using those words interchangeably. How many rows? Julian?
4 rows.
Was there 4 rows?
3 rows.
3 rows. Did it look like this, Julian? You might have had 1 row of 4 like this, and then another row of 4 like this, and then another row of 4 like this. Is that what yours looked like? Yeah. Oh, who said that? Jordan, what did you say?
There was 4 columns.
Brogan, did you hear what Jordan just said? No, you're missing out on that genius. We're talking about 3 rows right here. 1, 2, 3, because we're counting in boxes. But Jordan just noticed, hey, there's 4 rows. Would it make sense for us to think about them in rows, though, if we're stacking boxes?
Even 4 columns?
Four columns. Yep, sorry. 4 columns going up and down? Probably not. But that is interesting to notice. We do have 4 columns, but we're packing boxes flat. We don't normally stack donuts on top of each other because then they get all squishy and the icing gets on the other donut. It's not a good time. All right, clear your counters. Next task. How many donuts would fit in a large box with 3 rows?
Wait, it doesn't say rows.
It does say with 3 rows.
Oh, I see what you
We're making 3 rows.
How many?
Oh, well, let's think about it. I said of 4. We're in a large box. Does a large box have rows of 4?
Yes. 3 rows of 3.
Is it rows of 3 or rows of 4? Let's look back at our drawing. Our large box has rows of how many, Marley? How many are in those large boxes? 2.
4.
There's 4 in each row, so you need 4 in each row. If you think you know how many donuts would fit in a large box with 3 rows, give me a secret thumb. Ava, how many donuts would fit in a large box with 3 rows? Well, who else got 12? We did do the same thing as last time. I just made it different words. Alright, that is all. I'm going to go over these directions. You're going to be doing this task by yourself. However, we did the front page almost all together. So the front page shouldn't be very tricky. It says, the Dublin Donut Shop, okay, that's familiar, has different sizes of boxes for their donuts. The smallest box of donuts has 4 donuts in a straight line or row. Larger boxes have rows of donuts with 4 in each row. Use your cubes and draw pictures of the following boxes. A small box of 4 donuts. We already did that. Underneath where it says a small box of 4 donuts, go ahead and draw what that would look like. Remember, we did that together in our notebook. What does a small box of donuts look like? Go ahead and draw it. Underneath where it says a small box of 4 donuts, I'm pointing to it if you still don't know where you're supposed to be drawing it. Alright, so I love that Connor drew exactly what we did the first time. You drew a box with 4 in a row. Julian, that's not what we're doing. Look at my finger, because you are not in the right spot. Underneath where it says a small box of 4 donuts, that's what you're drawing. Alright, does that make sense? Underneath that, it says a box with 3 rows of donuts. Go ahead and draw what that would look like. That's going to be a large box that has 3 rows. 3 rows. Think about those rows.